If you are doing any work or doing something big in your life, and you have various questions and thoughts in your mind, and then you think about whether to do the work or not, then you can listen to this story once. Maybe your morale will increase a little more. And if you like the story, then subscribe to the channel, and here it is told in advance about the problems of people that people face later. So today, I will tell you this story about a young woman who, after listening to it, you will be able to find ways to understand your mind a little more and find peace. The story begins in a dark corner of the city where the sun does not reach. There lives a young woman named Ishita. Her eyes were deep black, but inside them was hidden an artist. Ishita was an extraordinary violinist. The melody of her violin seemed magical, giving a glimpse of joy even in sadness. But the people of the dark city were hopeless and silent. They believed that their lives would be spent in this darkness. The biggest problem here was a strange silence throughout the city. No one laughed, no one sang. And their only entertainment was an old rusty the machine, from which crackling sounds occasionally came out. Ishita's biggest dream was to bring back the light and the lost laughter and music to this city. One day she went to her old teacher, the wise sculptor. The sculptor told her the secret of the city. Ishita, an invisible force has stolen all the joy and light of this city, and only one thing can defeat that force: indomitable will. Bhaskar showed him an ancient manuscript. It read, "There is a huge mine mountain right in the center of the city. Whoever once sets his mind and climbs to the top of that mountain will receive the seed of light. Only by planting that seed will light return to this city." But the problem was, there were hundreds of obstacles on the way to that mountain of the mind. The pit of doubt, the fog of fear, and the most terrifying of all, the wall of disbelief. Once one sets foot on this path, one never returns. Can Ishita make the impossible possible? Is it possible for her to reach the top of this mountain alone? Part 2. Promises and Journeys. The next morning, when everyone in the town was fast asleep, Ishita set off for Mampahat with her beloved violin and a little food. The townspeople laughed at her madness. "This is impossible." "You can't do it. Come back." Such words of despair were coming from all around Ilfail. Your dreams. But only one word rang in Ishita's ears. Once you set your mind to it, nothing is impossible. First came the pit of doubt. The pit was so deep that its bottom could not be seen. Ishita's mind said, "You are an ordinary violinist. This task is impossible for you." Her feet were stopping. But then he played a sad tune on his violin. In that tune was his lost smile and his intense longing for light. The power of the tune helped him jump across the hole in one leap. Then came the fog of fear. In this fog he felt alone. His violin had been stolen, and he would be lost in the darkness forever. He closed his eyes. He thought to himself, "Fear is not my friend. It is my strength. My dreams are bigger than this." He forced himself to play an encouraging song. The fog began to thin as he listened to the song. The most difficult obstacle was the wall of disbelief. This wall was made of stone and despair. From the wall came whispering voices, "You are worthless. You will fail. Your dreams are like those of a fool." Ishita did not hit the wall. She played a melody on her violin that carried the strongest promise from her heart. The melody was perfect, confident, and full of love. With the vibration of that melody, the wall of disbelief slowly began to crack. Even if the wall is broken, is there a more formidable obstacle waiting ahead? Breaking through the wall, Ishita reached the top of the mountain of the mind. The peak was strangely peaceful, and in the middle of it was a small stage. A clear crystal box was placed on the stage, and inside it was the desired seed of light. Ishita took the seed in her hand. As soon as she took the seed in her hand, a glimmer of soft light spread from it. Taking the seed in her hand, she felt, this seed is nothing more. It is a symbol of hope and promise of success. He immediately came down from the mountain. When he returned to the dark city, everyone was surprised. They didn't even think that he could return. Ishita went right to the middle of the city, knelt down, dug up the ground, and planted the seed of light. In a moment, an intense but gentle ray of light pierced the sky and descended. As soon as the light touched, all the silence of the city was broken. People began to laugh excitedly, shaking off their long-standing fatigue and disappointment. When Ishita broke through the wall of disbelief and moved forward, she saw that the path leading to the summit had split into two. Right path, easy. This path was smooth, decorated with flowers and softly lit. A signboard read, "Peace guaranteed with little effort." Left path, difficult. This path was rough, full of thorns, and covered in pitch darkness. There were no signboards. Ishita's mind told her, "Why are you suffering so much? Light only wants peace. If you take the easy path, maybe you will find the seed. Maybe the source of that light is somewhere else." This is the quicksand of doubt. This quicksand swallows not only the path, but also the decision. Just then, a long shadow emerged from the thorny path to the left. It was Maya, a mysterious artist from the city of darkness, who, like Ishita, dreamed of bringing back the light, but was consumed by jealousy over her own failure. "Ishita," Maya whispered, "take the easy way. I tried, but this mountain is too hard. You will fail like me, and besides, I will take the light seed because I play a more powerful melody than you." Maya held an old deformed violin from which only the harsh sounds of despair came out. Maya quickly moved forward on the smooth path to the right. Ishita hesitated for a moment. She thought, Maya might be right. Why would she go through so much trouble? But then she remembered Bhaskar's words. Indomitable willpower doesn't look for easy ways. It sets goals. He picked up his violin and, bypassing the shifting sands, headed down the difficult thorny path to the left. The path was difficult, but with each thorn, Ishita played a stronger melody on her violin. Every note of her melody was a testament to her willpower. Meanwhile, Maya, taking the smooth path to the right, saw that the path had suddenly ended. There was only a vast emptiness. A voice came from the edge of that emptiness. This path only offers the temptation of false peace. If you do not set your mind, you cannot reach your destination. Maya sank into the darkness of despair and failure. Ishita took the left path and saw that it led directly to the top of the mountain. There, at one point, the two paths met again, but Maya could not reach there. Ishita now faces the final test. Is Alok Bij really waiting for her? Part 3. Seeds of Light and Great Melodies. When Ishita reached the top of the mountain of the mind after walking the difficult path, the surroundings were strangely quiet. In the middle of the peak was the platform, and on it was a clear crystal box. But the box was empty. The light seed was not there. Ishita sat down on the ground in despair. So much suffering, so many promises, had it all failed? Just then, the crystal box in the center of the stage twinkled, and a message flashed inside. The seed of light is not an object. It is the final result of your determination. You have chosen the hard way, not giving in to greed or doubt. Your indomitable will is that seed. Ishita understood the task was to prove herself. He stood up and took his beloved violin in his hand. He began to play the most powerful and noble melody of his life. This melody contained all his sacrifice, courage, determination, and his selfless love for the dark city. When the melody reached its highest peak, a flash of intense yet gentle light from the bow of his violin fell directly onto the stage. That light beam instantly turned into a seed of light, but not on the ground, but deep within Ishita's mind, at the place of her vow. With that strength of mind, she swiftly descended the mountain. When she returned to Aloknagar, city of light, everyone was astonished. They saw a strong self-confidence and peace in her eyes. Ishita knelt down in the middle of the city, but this time she did not dig the ground. She just used the power of her heart to play that magnificent tune on her violin. In an instant, the seed of light within her was revealed. A strong, warm light spread from her body, piercing the sky and descending. As the light touched, all the silence of the city broke. People, shedding years of accumulated fatigue and despair, began to smile exuberantly. A sweet sound like the melody of a violin emerged from the old rusted instrument, and Andharnagar, city of darkness, was renamed Aloknagar. Touched by Ishita's melody and willpower, Maya also saw the flash of light at the foot of the mountain. She understood that unwavering determination and selfless effort were the real victory. She threw away her distorted violin and stepped towards the light. Main lesson, Part 4. Reunion of light and lasting peace. Aloknagar was now cheerful and vibrant. Ishita's musical magic not only brought back light, but also instilled new hope in people's hearts. Every corner of the city now echoed with joy. Maya, sitting in despair at the foot of the mountain, lifted her head upon hearing the last strains of Ishita's magnificent melody. She saw a flash of light coming towards her too. There was no judgment in this light, only the warmth of unconditional acceptance. Maya then understood that her failure was due to envy and selfishness, not lack of power. She had wanted to enjoy the light herself, while Ishita had wanted to bring it back for everyone. This was the fundamental difference in their resolve. Maya slowly moved towards Aloknagar. When she reached the city center, she saw Ishita standing with her violin, surrounded by countless people immersed in joy. Maya bowed her head in shame before Ishita. Ishita, her voice trembled. I wanted to obstruct your path. My arrogance led me into the trap of the easy way. I couldn't believe you would succeed. But Ishita stood beside her, encouraging her softly. Make up your mind, Maya. What do you want? Do you want peace or despair? Be resolute. Maya took a deep breath. She made up her mind. She wanted to be a part of the city's joy. She began to play. This time, her melody was a mix of remorse, liberation, and a new beginning. That tune complemented Ishita's melody, further solidifying the peace of Aloknagar. Maya and Ishita, two artists, bearers of two resolves, began to play together. That harmony proved that once one makes up their mind, not only does personal success come, but it also inspires others to emerge from their darkness, and in that collective resolve, peace and joy become eternal. Aloknagar achieved lasting peace, where no one is alone anymore, and everyone believes once one makes up their mind, not only is nothing impossible, but the light of that resolve also illuminates the lives of others. The story is now completely finished. Has this story met your expectations?